Strange physical ailments, odd health-related happenings, and dubious medical procedures have long attracted considerable attention before being proven to be scams. These medical hoaxes are frequently perpetrated by common people who succeed in duping doctors or scientists. Sometimes a doctor is complicit in the fraud. Here are 10 of the strangest medical hoaxes in history, from a lady giving birth to rabbits to eyewear that can reduce appetite. Number 10. Why can't humans and animals have children? Human-dog while trans-species breeding myths and superstitions have been mostly dispelled by contemporary science, important advancements in reproduction, such the ability to clone mammals, have given rise to a whole new generation of lab-based breeding hoaxes. The tale of a human-dog hybrid that recently made the rounds online is one instance of this. According to the article, Israeli researchers were looking at a human Labrador Retriever hybrid. It went on to say that humane workers had uncovered the remains of another trans species that were supposed to be this animal's parent, buried in a shallow grave, despite the fact that a trans species like this was regarded to be impossible. The son of a prominent figure appeared to be the human parent. A picture of what seemed to be a strange half-woman, half-dog, or pig hybrid mother feeding its kids was included with the story. In actuality, there was no hybrid between humans and dogs. The image in the picture, which has been shared to countless inboxes around the globe, is apparently not even a real being, but rather a sculpture by Patricia Piccinini from an exhibition titled, We Are Family, that took place in 2003. Number 9. Massive confusion on daytime TV. The Phil Donahue Show was a groundbreaking daytime talk show for its emphasis on socially relevant topics. It aired on TV in syndication from 1970 to 1996. But in addition to the serious subjects, there were also a number of sensationalistic situations, including one that shocked in an unanticipated way. People in the audience started passing out on January 21, 1985, during the live taping of an episode about gay seniors. 7 people passed out throughout the course of taping that one episode, starting with an audience member who collapsed while she was speaking into the microphone. It was thought that this peculiar phenomenon would be explained by the heat in the studio, which contrasted with the extremely cold weather outside. The mass fainting turned out to be a media hoax orchestrated by the organization Faint, led by media prankster Alan Abel, to protest what Abel believed to be the low quality of TV at the time. Would he not enjoy what is currently on TV? Number 8. Mobile scrotum cellos, according to the Doctor Who, are bad for your nuts. The exact shade of green, the phrase, cello scrotum, sounds joking, and that's exactly what it was. However, it took 35 years until the two individuals who prankishly originated the expression acknowledged they were joking. The joke originated in response to a letter from Dr. P. Curtis, who reported 3 examples of a condition he called guitar nipple in the British Medical Journal. John Murphy and Dr. Elaine Murphy, a married couple, were moved to respond after assuming this message was a prank. Elaine wrote the letter, which was signed by John and appeared in a 1974 journal edition. In part, it stated, although I haven't personally experienced a guitar nipple, as described by Dr. P. Curtis, I did once encounter a case of cello scrotum, which was brought on by discomfort from the cello's body. When the Murphys ultimately admitted that cello scrotum was a joke, they claimed that anyone who had seen the cello being played would have known that such a condition was improbable. Number 7. The young person who ate a golden tooth. Astrology was frequently employed in medieval times to direct researchers and medical professionals. Jakob Horst, a medical professor at Julius University in Helmstedt, made the decision to look into claims that Christoph Müller, a small child in Silesia, had developed a golden tooth. When examinations revealed that Müller actually did possess a gold tooth, Horst authored a book outlining an astrological theory. Müller was born when the planets were in an unusual arrangement, which Horst claimed had caused heat from the sun's rays to amplify, and he hypothesized that Müller's jawbone had changed to gold as a result. Müller refused to allow the tooth to be further investigated after the strain of chewing food and numerous examinations led to the deterioration of what was ultimately discovered to be merely a thin covering of gold fitted to the tooth's outside. The boy's face was stabbed by an inquisitive, inebriated nobleman who wouldn't accept no for an answer. The perpetrator of the gold veneer appears to have escaped punishment once a doctor tending to the wound learned the truth about the tooth, perhaps by fleeing or remaining unidentified, but Müller was arrested and taken to jail. The fake did, however, result in one good thing. This was the first known instance of a molded gold crown made in dental history. Number 6. The Valley of Eternal Life. a place where living to 100 is common. Blacamba, the idea of being able to live longer than average has been the subject of numerous hoaxes. One of them was a well-known tale from the 1970s about the Ecuadorian community of Vilcabamba, where it was claimed that it was typical for residents to survive past the age of 100, with at least one person reaching 134. Because American media outlets took the narrative seriously, Vilcabamba saw a significant increase in tourism as a result of an article in National Geographic. Uncertainty existed regarding the duration, though. This myth of a fountain of youth was debunked in 1978 by research conducted by Richard Mazes of the University of Wisconsin and Sylvia Foreman of UC Berkeley. A thorough investigation revealed that nobody in the village was older than 100 years. Only 86 years old was the average age of individuals who were thought to be centenarians. One person who claimed to be 127 was in fact 91. Number 5. Breath in a bottle. Longevity. In his exposition on longevity, Hermapus redivivus, published in the 18th century, physician Johann Heinrich Cohausen gave a description of a rather unusual formula as a joke. He described an elixir that contained young women's breath and said that using it may increase one's lifespan. The treatise is actually a satire, as Cohausen makes clear in the last several chapters. So, rather than being fraud, it's more like a clever academic joke. Number 4. Glasses with a vision diet. Over the years, there have been various weight loss scams, including those using pills, elixirs, topical remedies, fad diets, and more. Vision diet or glasses, which were marketed in the 1970s with obviously false claims that they used secret European color technology, were one such item. The original plan of the inventor was to create glasses that would alter the color of food packaging in an effort to discourage consumers from buying products simply because they came in eye-catching packaging. But after understanding how lucrative the diet industry could be, he took the decision to advertise the glasses as a product for those who were attempting to lose weight. The Food and Drug Administration's response shouldn't have come as a surprise. Due to misbranding, these colored weight loss glasses were seized. When the claimant declined to come forward, the FDA eventually destroyed the majority of pairs. Number 3. Metallic tractors, a metal rod painkiller. The 18th century was rife with absurd medical frauds, particularly those involving futuristic equipment and therapies. A pair of two tiny pointed metal rods known as metallic tractors, that were flat on one side and rounded on the other, was one of the oddest pain treatment devices ever offered. Elisha Perkins, a doctor from Connecticut, created them. By draining the noxious electrical fluids, which Perkins believed were to fault for various ailments, these tools may, in Perkins' opinion, reduce pain from gout, rheumatism, and other conditions. The patient was encouraged to use these rods to gently rub the afflicted area. Not merely illiterate folks fell for this con. George Washington was one of those who placed a set order. Clinical experiments conducted between 1799 and 1801 showed that any pain alleviation was merely a placebo effect. Number 2. Rogues Gallery. Online. 1792. Dr. James Graham's electric love bed. James Graham, a renowned British charlatan, amassed an entire temple's worth of falsehoods. Graham was most renowned for what he called electrical medicine and had passed himself off as a doctor despite never finishing medical school. At the time, harnessing electricity was still an emerging science, and Graham was motivated by Benjamin Franklin's experiments, whom he actually met while visiting America. Aristocrats and other famous people frequently visited Graham's Temple of Health. His celestial bed, a contrivance for promoting reproduction that he claimed could treat impotence and sterility, was one of his most intriguing inventions. Couples could rent this love nest for a night. It had a mattress full of delicious new wheat or oat straw, lavender flowers, rose leaves, balm, and horsetail hairs, and could be tilted at various angles. Under the bed, there were additional pricey oils and perfumes. The self-styled doctor claimed that a magnetic fluid surrounded the lovers that helped strengthen their strength and promote the women's fertility, was created by static electricity flowing via copper coils surrounding the bed. There was soft music playing, and a mirror over the bed was adorned with luscious flowers and graphic erotica. Graham claimed that everyone who stayed there for an evening would become pregnant. Number 1. The rabbit litters of Mary Toft. The concept of interbreeding between species has frequently interested people, especially the potential for human-animal hybridization. Over the decades, a number of women have asserted to have given birth to animals of many other species. The most well-known example of this is the tale of Mary Toft, an English servant who in the 18th century persuaded doctors and others that she had given birth to rabbits. It was believed that there were several litters totaling 15 rabbits, all of which were stillborn. Toft responded to the inquiry, "How were the rabbits conceived?" by claiming that she had been startled by a rabbit in a field, which was consistent with the long-held belief that maternal impressions played a role in conception. After the encounter, Toft allegedly had dreams about rabbits and developed a strong craving for them as food. John Howard, an obstetrician, was confident that Toft had indeed given birth to rabbits. He informed eminent British physicians about the situation, including King George I, who asked his physician to check into it. Although this doctor was duped as well, a surgeon sent from the royal household discovered proof of a fraud during an investigation. He found that one of them contained grain inside their dung, proving it could not have evolved inside Mrs. Toft's womb. While looking at several of the rabbits,